I don't know if it,
Did it get surplus or?
it went to the state hospital
Right.
grounds. It went to
Above
what
the
was
shop.
known as the paint shop.
Right. And Bill and I went to look for other artifacts actually after we found this.
And then it was, so it just, it left the scene until this guy.
Yeah. So then we pick it up because what happened was they were cleaning up. The fire marshal said you got to clean things up in the paint shop. So they surplused this thing. So they went out not knowing what it was, no history about it or anything, and our marvelous curatorial director at the time, which is a bone of contention with me, I don't even want to mention his name, decided this wasn't worth a dime and just ship it out the door. So it got sold at the White Farm for, I don't recall the price, was it $300 or something like that?
Either 50.
It was $300, I think, for this one, because he said the round table was only worth $100. I think they might have given $300 for this one. I don't recall the exact price they gave, but I know it was, I gave them a lot more when I bought it.
It seemed to me it was, you went to the White Farm with me.
Yeah, I took you. I went and picked you up and said, come on, Bill, we're going to go check this out, see if there's any other artifacts above the paint
I
shop.
thought it was either $50 or $100.
Could have been $100. It wasn't much, because I was giving the guy, what angered me is I said, this thing should have never even left our possession. It got sold, so the antique dealer bought it down on Store Street. Jeff Patterson was on his lunch break, came up, I was house chief of staff at the time, and he said, Terry, he says, I don't know if you're going to be interested in this, but I just saw the New Hampshire House Reporters table down at the store, this antique shop, and I said, you're kidding me. He goes, no, it's down there, it's for sale for, I don't know, I paid $800, but it was for sale for $1,100 or something. And I said, okay. I said, well, he goes, I think it's really the reporter's table. I said, how the hell did that get down there? So I went down and got Bill. I said, Bill, come with me. I says, Jeff Patterson just told me there's an antique artifact from our house furniture down there. So he and I went down to the store, and we were sitting there talking. Sure enough, I said, let's authenticate it. And you were here, Bill. You know what it looks like. We pulled out the drawers, and there's writing in the drawers of what it is, 1913, and different, signatures within the drawers themselves.
Signatures from the
reporters and
They
yeah.
signed
Very
it when
cool.
they
They signed
retired.
Very cool.
So he said, yes, this is it. So then some other fella, while Bill and I are negotiating, and actually I'm negotiating with the shop owner saying, listen, you got to give me a break here. I'll buy it back, and I understand you had to move it, and I'll give you a little bit of profit, but this never should have left the state's possession. I don't know how you got it, and I'm angry at the curator for not offering it back and selling house property without, the permission of the house. So some other fella is behind Bill and I, and he's hearing this conversation. He says, I'll buy it right now for your asking price. I said, whoa, you can't be doing that. He goes, I'm going to buy it right now.
It just became Sotheby's in there.
I said, you're not buying it. I said, I'm buying it right now. Here's my credit card. You agreed to $800. That's what I'm paying you. I said, let's close this deal now. I'll get reimbursed from the state. I don't care. It's not leaving. I'm buying it now. So I gave my credit card. I bought it. I said, Billy, we got to get this thing back up there. Can you get us a van? He got one of his vans we made a time when we were going to bring it in. You got your van down there to move it. We moved the artifact out and brought it back. But, it was just, that guy was aggressive because he's listening to us and realizes this is a gem in the rough here. They don't know, nobody knows what it was until we started talking to the guy. And I had to go to $800. The guy, I said, I'll give you a reasonable profit, but he was killing me. And he wanted full boat, and then the guy behind me is going to pay full boat, so I had to sneak it out of there at $800. So the state got, $100 for it. I had to pay $800 for it. So it cost us $700 to get the thing back when it never should have left in the first place. That's the craziest story in the world. So then, listen to this.
Who made the disc?
I'm not sure who made the desk. Do you know who made the desk?
We would have the bill of
You
sale.
probably have the bill of sale in archives.
There's somebody here in Boston.
Is it the same people that made the antique desks?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's cut off. It's Joseph L. something in Boston.
Yeah, that's a different maker than the original
But we would
furniture.
have, because we have the original furniture too.
Right.
Might be writing on the underneath side.
So we ended up getting it back in here. We brought it. We had to hump the thing. It came pretty heavy actually. So we got all of us together to bring it in.
All
We
split.
brought it in and put it in here because it's a pretty big desk, so we didn't really have a good place to put it. But we figured it was good for the folks to know how this actually happened and what took place back in the day. That you literally had to pay people to cover the legislature, and that we had this desk in the hall and was there for
So in the,
decades.
what I remember, in the morning, we were over there.
Right.
Then we went to try to figure out where it came from.
Okay.
Right.
Remember? And it was, but the whole negotiation with that other guy was you.
Right.
I know someone heard us, obviously.
Well, they were right behind us when I was talking to the guy, and then the guy says, "I'll buy it right now." And I just said, "You got to be kidding me! No, you can't sell it to him. It's a state heirloom for crying out loud. We're gonna get it." I said, "I'll buy it." So I gave my credit card. I said, "I'll get reimbursed from the state later," and that's what happened. Is I just got reimbursed.
They only
later.
gave us until the end of that.
That day. I had to do it that day. That's why I said, "I'll just buy it now."
Yeah.
Because you only have to, and I can't make government. I mean, I can make government do a lot of things, but I can't get a check cut like that. So I said, "I'll just buy it." This is the deal. So I bought it. I put in the reimbursement paperwork, got reimbursed for it later in the month or something, didn't matter to me. But we retained the furniture, and that was the key.
Was there an event that precipitated asking the reporters to leave the floor of the State House?
Not that I know of, except for they weren't getting paid anymore, they stopped paying.
Do you remember roughly what year that
I don't recall that. Well, that's actually in the document, 20 years post.
Well, it doesn't exactly say that.
It said they stopped paying him 20 years post, right?
Well, it says the
Terminated 20 years
gift
later.
was raised to 100, and that rate continued until the practice was terminated 20 years later.
So it's 87 to 97 to 1907. So it'd be 1907 that they stopped paying them.
So they're still here. The desk is still here
Yeah,
in
and that's at
41.
41. So the desk stayed there, but I don't think they paid the reporters.
But
So you said the
reporters-
desk was there when you were there in 76, right?
70, no, 73.
73.
73 and 74. But it was taken out in 75
Okay.
as part of the renovation when they were putting in the roll call machine, you know, the where you push your voting yes,
Yeah.
you know. When that was done, Roberts did a renovation of the rostrum.
Yeah.
Roberts was speaker
When this got removed.
when it was moved.
So they moved it to the paint shop, but the funny thing is, I think the guy, one of the reasons I said I'd give him more money too is I think he had done stuff to it, which I was angry about because it took some of the natural stuff off.
So-
He had redone some of
Right,
it.
they agreed that, but the other thing is the drawers used to be on the other side. This was a renovation, because they used to sit on the opposite side, facing the podium. And then when they brought them onto the side, because they were there were drawers that they took out
On the other side blocked.
and blocked and put these
They
drawers.
had to
They
take the
meaning
window out.
who?
They meaning the legislature.
Whoever was
Okay,
in
so